Today we take a look at Tanor Canyon. Welcome friends to a new episode of Lineage 2, hanging out today on the core server. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a pretty good day, and we are looking at Tanor Canyon. We've made it. We are essentially back to where we were on Chronos. So we are not quite there yet, but we're pretty well off. So I do have my IS with me. Reason being is I can solo here. However, essentially what happens is when I tested this earlier, whenever Undying Will fires off, it stops the ability for me to regenerate health, and then I essentially end up getting in this stuck loop and I can't recover, and then I end up dying. So that's a thing. But other than that, we're okay. And I think if we pick up maybe one more piece of equipment, that's probably going to be a non-issue. Like if we pick up a +5 Radiant Circlet, I think our problems are going to be gone. I also did pick up a Seha's Talisman level 8, so that is huge. I do need to upgrade this to a level 12. And we're going to do that, but I'm going to level it myself. And I'm going to show you guys how to level up Veneer's Talisman soon. However, I'm out of money, and I can't really do it right now. So it will be coming shortly, probably in the next video or two, once I get some things going. So I got to sell some stuff and then get this going, but we should be fine. But the reason for that is if equipped with a Veneer's Talisman level 12, skill power +5, skill cooldown -5%. That's pretty amazing. So I'm really excited to be able to get the full effects of that, which will be really nice. So we just have to get this to a level 12 and we should be fine. And we're on our way, which is great. Atlas Earring is +3, so we're moving right along with that. But yeah, things are going well. I did add my Golem to the mix, but I don't think he's really needed. I've played around with him in my macro, and I could probably put him at the beginning to where he'll actually get more of a benefit, but I don't know how much it's actually helping, so I'll probably end up just getting rid of him or not using him typically. So I could probably turn him off, but then I have to wait. I guess I could do it now. It doesn't really matter one way or another. I'm killing fast enough. The only reason that Nali is here is just to take over when Undying Will happens. And she's on her own, cycle of healing. So that way I'm fine and safe. Typically I can run here solo, but that Undying Will is kind of a little tricky. I know that I could potentially change it, but I think it's the best to have right now. I'll have to go investigate the other revelation skills to find out if that's something that we want to change potentially. But I don't know if we're going to or not. We might not. I'm not too worried about it. There we go. For some reason that was kind of goofy. It's something to explore, but I'm not really too worried about it. So the Golem will end up going away. If we pick up a Radiant or we get the Veneer 12, I think we'll probably be able to not worry about Undying Will. We'll probably be okay at that point. I think one more big item and things will be fine. Did we pick up our items today? We did, yes. Some of you guys did ask about mouse macros or keyboard macros. I do use them. You're not going to see them in videos just because the clicking around and starting and stopping the video and stuff like that. I don't want there to be really any conflicts or anything like that. So, but I run them when we're not on camera, so they're run all the time. So I am benefiting from that, and yes, there's a huge benefit to running keyboard or and or mouse macros, because you essentially don't get the cooldown of all of the, the in-game macros are really slow, and they're much better if you're running without them. So I could turn it on and then you guys can see all of my skills are firing off. It appears they're all okay and better, so everything seems to be working well. I typically just don't run them while I'm recording, so just be aware of that. So I know some of you guys have asked, but yes, we are benefiting from mouse macros completely. So yes, keyboard and mouse macros are typically a thing that everybody's been using, so I might do a video on how to set them up. Really, essentially, whatever mouse or keyboard macro that you're doing, this is kind of a high-level overlook. If you're looking to get into that and you haven't checked it out yet, put your skills that you want on your bars. So these are all your F keys, and these are all your number keys. At least they are for me, but you can key them to whatever you want. And then in your mouse or keyboard settings, you just record a macro, and it's the same as like this. So if your macro shows, let's say this, I recorded a macro that presses all these buttons. So F4, 2, 3, and then I put them all in order and then saved it, and then I just turn on the mouse macro. It's not hard. It's pretty... Anybody that's used a keyboard and mouse for a while should be able to figure this out. It's pretty self-explanatory. It should take you about 10-15 minutes to figure out how to make it work, and then once you figure out how to make it work, it's just a matter of setting up the macro and letting it run. So, but yeah, it's not too difficult. But we're here. We're in Tanor Canyon. So essentially, even though I talked about this in the last live stream, so if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and go back and take a look. It was my chill stream from last weekend. But essentially, we talked about our equipment, things that I have better, things that are less. But we have some things that are better, like our cloak is better. Even though we had a plus 11 on Chronos, we didn't have the right skill augment, and we now have that. So things have obviously changed. And then we don't have the Wings of Splendor or the Hire's Radiance here yet, but we can pick that up at some point. So if we get ourselves a +3 or a level 3 Hair's Radiance, then we'll be in a good spot. So we need a 12. Well, obviously we need an 18, but those are few and far between here. And these are pretty much everything else is the same here. We're ahead in our jewels by a long shot. I have a Ruby 5, a Red Cats 5. I've got a Greater Aquamarine 2. We've got a level 4 brooch with an augment on it, which is not awesome, but it's there. So that's really good. We have the ability to make these greater. So there's a lot of potential here. This is pretty much the same. We had a level 3 on Chronos, and we had these filled out with the Fairy Bracelet and a Leo, I believe. So that's something that we can upgrade. And we did have a +5 level 3 book. But what I didn't have was I have a lot of +4s. I pretty much have everything +4 that is really necessary and important. So I think the only one that I had different was a +6 or 7 P attack. So that one was a little bit better, but I didn't have +4s for everything else. They were just kind of pushed in place. So, and really the glaring thing that's different is our weapon, really mainly. So we had a +12. Here it would be a Supreme Krishna. On Chronos, it's a limited, but essentially a very similar augment. And then we had better essays on it, but we're a little bit behind when it comes to that, but all the other things that we're ahead on kind of make up for it. So the fact that we're leveling exactly where we were before almost as efficiently as we were before, means that we're doing really well. So I'm not too... I would say that we're pretty much on par with where we were before, which is really great. So things are going well. I would like to get off of Ogre and back onto Bear. And like I said, I'd like to be able to go here solo and not have to worry about it. Had I changed out Undying Will and moved that with something else, I might not really have to worry about that anymore. It's something to consider, obviously, but things are going really well here. So I really like Tanor Canyon, and this is a nice place to level. And we'll be here for the foreseeable future, I think, unless we get ourselves into a Ketra or Varka party. We are level 110, so we have reached 20%. So things are going smooth. However, what we just ran out of a few hours ago was our 200% XP rune. That's gone. So we have no more runes. Our runes are over. So I've officially been on the server for now 2 months. I ran through the first 30-day rune, and now I've run through the second 30-day rune. We've been on the server for 60 days exactly, as of the recording of this video. So things are going well. These are going to end in 2 days, so I'm trying to get through them. The retired legend scrolls. I wish you could keep them and they didn't have an expiration. I would hoard them and save them to the XP event, but that would be a little cheaty because they are so awesome. Look, I mean, it gives a lot. I mean, this would be really nice. 10% skill power, that's crazy. And then 20% P and M def. These are really, really nice scrolls. It will be interesting to see how well we do without them here. So we might have to go back to Silent Valley, potentially. I don't know. I haven't tried it without them. I suppose we could turn it off and see how it goes. Will it let me kill that? No. It won't let me kill that, so I'd have to let it run. It's not like a buff. Something I might have to test, but since they're gone in 2 days, we're going to know anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. Something that we'll just have to compensate for in the event we actually can't level here without it. But I feel that we should be able to be fine. Since Nale is with us and we have Palm, we should be okay. I think everything will be great. Oh yeah. And, you know, here's another thing. There's spots that are open. Like, I just walked right up to this spot without an issue. So nobody, you know, there's plenty of spots here. It seems like I haven't gone all the way down. I've never had to. This is as far as I've ever had to go to look for a spot. So, I believe... Nope. So yesterday, one of my clanmates, Evil, was hanging out over there, but it looks like he's moved on to other things. So that was kind of cool that we had... Oh, there he is. So, yeah, he is here. He's just in a different spot. So we haven't had to travel very far to find a place to level here in Tanor Canyon, which is pretty nice. Maybe it's the time of day. Maybe I'm on the right schedule to be able to pick up a spot here. I'm not quite sure, but everything has seemed to be going pretty well. Can't complain. It's really nice. So yeah, I feel like we're back to square one. It took about 60 days. But everything is fine. I have a line on some other items. Hopefully it pans out. In a few days, we might pick up a greater opal and a greater emerald. And then we might pick up a dragon shirt and potentially a plus 10 fallen angel's ring. If all works well, I might pick up those, and then we're not going to have any problem here if I pick those things up, because that's going to be a huge improvement. The plus 10 angels, fallen angels, will give us plus 20% skill critical damage, and I think the plus 5 dragon range shirt has like plus 6 stats on everything, and then these are just, we're going to be one step closer to having Brooch BR for having 4 jewels that are greater. So if I do pick those 2 up, then the next goal is to get these both up to greater, which I'm going to use with shiny gem energy or shiny jewel energy, and then we'll really see how things go, which is going to be amazing. I'm super excited for this. So we have some upgrades on the way. I am so excited. Things are really moving in the right direction. Things are great. So all right, friends, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. We've made some major progress. I love it. I hope you guys are enjoying the season and the progress and everything that we're doing here on Core. I want to explore all the things. I have a couple other videos coming up this week. I hope you enjoy them, and I have some ideas. I hope I get a chance to record them to be able to produce them for this week, but if not, you'll see them soon. But thanks for watching, everybody. As always, make sure to take care and be well.